And no one knows that better than our next guest. So here with tips on to help us out is the founder of the viral blog Finding Joy and the mother of 11, Rachel Marie Martin. So welcome to the show. So great to have you here.
I'm super excited
and
to be here.
How did you find the time to be here with 11 kids at home?
Well, it's delegating. It's
right.
delegating. And my kids they're older now. So
right.
when they're younger, it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah. So your kids are, you have 11 from a blended family.
I do. I have a blended family. Like I always say, very large blended family.
Right. And so you've learned a lot through the years as a mom, and you started out as a blogger. Kind of take me back to why you wanted to start a blog in the first place.
Well, I love the internet. I was in Yahoo groups, and one of the things I found out was that moms felt alone. Women felt alone. The world was more digitally connected, but we had those moments where like, am I the only one that struggles with this? And I love to write, so it was like the perfect intersection for me. And I started writing on my blog, and then found this place encouraging moms to really know that they're enough in what they're doing.
Yeah, and was there one post, maybe one story that you told that really kind of went viral? And if so, what was that?
Well, I have two that went really viral. One was to the mom who felt like she was failing, because I think we all struggle with that. And the other one, the mega one, was why being a mom is enough. And I really wanted moms to know that those simple things that they're doing, playing cards or showing up at soccer games or tucking them in at night, is such a beautiful thing. At the end, when our kids get older, that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah, so many parents think they need to do so much, and but it's hard, right? It's hard to do it all.
It is. It's hard, and we live in a world where we see what everybody else is doing, and it's hard to, if you don't step back and go, you know what, I don't have to do all of that. These are just the highlights, and you get to pick and choose.
Yeah, well, let's talk about self-care, and we hear that term a lot, but what does that mean to you? What does it look like for you?
Self-care means investing in my own story. I give the example often of my kids. I'm sure your kids too. When there's a dentist doctor appointment, we're like, we gotta go. We've gotta go. We don't feel guilt. But when it's us, we're like, you know what, I'll put it off. I'll just wait. I'll just put it off. So self-care is investing in your own heart, your health, without guilt. Because we don't feel guilt taking our kids. We're like, we're a great mom. We got them to the dentist.
You feel guilty if the opposite.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you got to think that same for yourself.
Yes.
And what about other things like, taking time to read a book or to go get a massage? Or some people feel guilty about that kind of thing as well.
You have to invest in yourself. You have to realize that when you invest in yourself, you're actually modeling that to your kids. It's important to pursue your passions, your dreams, and there's no guilt in that. And when I do that, generally I come back, I'm like, you know what, I have more energy for all of you. I love you because my tank is full.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about your latest book. How many books have you written so far?
This is my third book.
Third book. Okay,
yes.
So get your spark back. What does that mean, and what will we find inside this book?
Okay, one of the things most readers would ask me is, how do I get my spark back? And they never said, how do I get a spark? Never like a non-thing. It was always possessive, like my spark.
My spark. Like they already had it, they just lost it.
Yes, like in the busy or post-pandemic years, we're like, well, what's next? Who am I now?
Right.
And especially now as a mom of older kids, I wonder that, who am I now? What's the next chapter? So getting your spark back is really self-care, investing in yourself, finding the time to do it, and aligning yourself with things that light you up, bring you joy.
Okay, and is that in the book? Is it like a step-by-step part? Like, what will we find in there?
It is. It's the questions people have asked me, like, what if I'm too old? What if I don't have enough money? What if people reject me? And then it's the antidote to that.
Nice.
Really with knowing what time you have in front of you is so valuable, and it's time to go all in.
Yeah, and how important would you say is finding a group, a network of other women that are like yourself? Is that important?
Absolutely critical. Absolutely. Because when we find that network, we build each other up. We fix each other's crowns. We're the ones that say, you go, girl, you can do it.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Any other advice for busy moms out there, maybe, with little ones? Because I know there's so many challenges at every stage, but, for little ones, when they have, like the baby's crying and they're just trying to find a minute to themselves, it's difficult.
Right. Well, don't compare to the mom that's got older kids, first of all. You're in a season where they're little and you're busy all the time.
Right.
But put yourself, if you can, on the calendar, on the schedule the time, like without guilt again. Take that 20 minutes, take the 5 minutes, and meet a friend for coffee, go for a walk. But you have to prioritize yourself.
Yeah,
within
so
it.
important. I remember saying, take a nap when the baby naps, but
Yes.
that's like, no, that's when I want to do all my other stuff. So
Right.
that never quite works. You got to find what works for you.
That is it. Each of us has a different story and different passions and what we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Nice
Thank
talking
you.
with you.
Thank you.
And if you want to find more about Rachel or her books, you can visit her website, findingjoy.net.